When groups of people gather to chant, the act of pushing air through the vocal cords causes a physical reaction across the nervous system. We need to draw a hard line right at the start. There is no reliable evidence that chanting repairs DNA or tunes bodies to magical healing frequencies. The biology of a slow exhale provides enough verifiable data on its own. In 2001, researchers published a study in the British Medical Journal. They measured the heart and breathing rates of volunteers reciting two completely independent practices, the Catholic rosary in Latin and the Hindu or Buddhist mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. This chart compares the Ave Maria and the Om mantra. Despite evolving thousands of miles apart, both take exactly 10 seconds. A 10-second phrase dictates a 10-second breath cycle. Inhaling and exhaling at that pace, you breathe exactly 6 times a minute. The power of these specific chants relies on their structural design. They act as an accidental timing mechanism, honed over centuries to hit a specific biological reflex. Our bodies regulate blood pressure using an autonomic control system called the baroreflex. Left entirely alone, this internal blood pressure feedback loop naturally cycles once every 10 seconds. This animation tracks what happens when you introduce a second 10-second cycle. We see two initially staggered sine waves, one tracking the new slowed breathing rate and the other tracking blood pressure, shifting until their peaks align and lock together. When a person's breathing perfectly matches that internal baroreflex cycle, heart rate variability spikes and vagal tone dramatically increases. Using the vocal cords to pace the breath acts as a manual override. It forces the heart and lungs to sink into an optimal state of autonomic calm. A resonant chant like Om also creates a distinct physical vibration that travels up from the chest and into the structures around the ears. That vibration mechanically taps against the auricular branch of the vagus nerve, which runs directly from the ear down into the parasympathetic nervous system. To map how the brain responds, researchers placed 12 healthy volunteers into an fMRI machine and recorded the neurohemodynamic correlates, the changes in blood flow, while they actively chanted Om. This top-down schematic maps the blood flow in the human brain during that experiment. The data showed significant bilateral deactivation in the amygdala and hippocampus, meaning the brain's primary threat detection centers physically dimmed. We have to be extremely precise with these results. This was a small pilot study, and the researchers themselves note that general relaxation is a major confounding variable. These scans provide a biological footprint of profound relaxation. They show a verifiable physical shift in the brain that complements human well-being. Because this mechanism relies entirely on timing and vibration, you could recite a grocery list at a precise 10-second cadence and achieve the same cardiovascular sync. But humans rarely attach this kind of physiological shift to a grocery list. We attach it to the search for existential meaning. Thousands of years ago, texts like the Mandukya Upanishad provided a philosophical framework for the chant, assigning a specific state of consciousness to each phonetic component of the word Om. The A sound represents the waking physical state. The U sound represents the dreaming state and internal mental impressions. The M sound represents deep, dreamless sleep. And finally, the chant requires a trailing silence, representing a fourth state of consciousness completely beyond conceptualization. We do not need to validate these traditions with exaggerated claims about quantum frequencies. The reality that ancient humans experimented with their vocal cords and discovered how to manually calm their nervous systems to explore their own consciousness is a profound enough achievement on its own.